Blog Talk Radio.
Good evening, everyone. This is me, Jonathan Alexander, and I'm here to host our show, Life, Laughter, Happiness. Today I have my co-host, Kelly. Are you there, Kelly?
Yes. Hello, everyone.
Hi, Kelly.
Hi, and I have my other co-host, Barbara. Are you there, Barbara?
Yes, I'm here. Hi, everybody.
Okay.
Hi.
Now, today we're going to be doing a chakra day, and being that you're really close to this guest, I think it would be good if you introduced her. The lady that's going to, the young woman that's going to chakra day. Okay?
Okay, you guys, this is our first child that will be on the show for Chakra Day, and it's my daughter. Yes, yeah. Priscilla. And, well, we're so excited. So she's not a woman. So, surprise, it's a child. She's 12 years old. She really needs a chakra day right now because she's been through a lot lately. We've moved, as you guys know, and she's missing her friends. Also, just in life, her 12 years of life, she's seen so much. Since she was on the show for Psychic Day, you all found out that she's lost her father, but she was 2, so she didn't know him. But the mere fact that she's grown up with no father figure and is doing so great and is such a well-rounded child, that is great. But there's other things that go along with it, which could be things that she's holding inside. Her friends have dads. She may be looking at that. She may feel voids. Also, with watching me, her mom, go through different things. We're so close. We share everything 24/7. So she sees me going through painful things in life, and that's got to affect her too. So all that, and she's a very good student, and I'm happy with that. And she is a very good girl, and she is enjoying her summer. Well, trying to enjoy her summer. She's just been really down because she loves it here. It's a great, beautiful town and the ocean, and she loves water and everything, but she's just been really down missing her friends. She said she feels lonely. So let's see what we can do today. And I just thank Kelly so much for what you're about to do for my daughter.
Oh, you're
okay.
So
Are you
welcome.
ready, Kelly?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah,
Kelly?
I think so.
Okay. Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to go
love my
ahead and
assistant here.
I'm going to go ahead and have the mic.
Who's your assistant? Sorry, you guys. Sorry, I was choking. Who's your assistant today, Kelly?
My assistant is Mushu, and he was very persistent in wanting out for this. And then I had to give him medicine, and I was going to put him back, and he just kind of went in there. But then, I asked, like I do you want to come out, for the show? And he gives me the link, and that's how I know it's a yes. And then I put him on my shirt, and he's, like, insufferable. I tried to put him on the couch, and he's like, nope, I'm hanging on to the shirt.
Oh, how so, what kind of animal is Mushu?
He's a bearded dragon, and I've been told by Vanessa Orr and by Karen Page that these little guys are so spiritual and so bonded that they help me when I'm having a down day, and I help them when they're, when they come to me hurt or injured, from other places or be sick. And so, like, they feel the love every day, just being here with each other and with me and all the little guys. I have well, that's so sweet of you. Thank you.
Okay.
That would be great if you guys came and visited sometime.
We would love to visit, right, Priscilla?
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Okay.
That'd be great.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and turn the mic over to Kelly, and then you can get started. Okay, Kelly?
All right, sounds good. Yep, and it looks like Mushu is ready, too. Are you ready, Priscilla?
Yes, I am ready.
Okay, cool. So you're laying down and you're comfy?
Yes, I am.
All right. Okay, the first thing that I do, and you don't have to, but you can if you want to, because it's kind of fun and you're perceptive about energy, so I think you'd be able to do this right away if you tried it, is I rub my hands together vigorously, and you might start to feel your hands get warm or get a tingle. And then I stop and put them. Do you feel like a tingle?
Oh yeah.
Oh, good. Then if you put them shoulder width apart and you start bringing them closer and closer, and you slightly cup your hands about 5 inches away from each other, you might start to feel resistance or even more tingles.
Yeah, I do.
Oh my gosh, you do. You just made an energy ball. See? You are sensitive to energy. Wow, and you did it right away, too. Wow, you can manipulate energy. That's really awesome. Wow, okay. I'm impressed. Every time I meet you and talk to you, I'm impressed by you. It's like, you're welcome. It's like you're a child, but you're like a wise, like a wise sage, you know, one of those people that people come to for advice.
Oh,
Thank you. It's true though. So what I do is I will explain what we're doing. Chakras are energy centers in the body, and we have 7 major ones, and those are the ones that I focus on. And each one of them has a different set of organs and systems that work together with it, and emotions and thought processes, like the different, endocrine glands in our bodies that make different hormones and chemical regulations for these systems. It's all tied in. So if you can imagine, there's an area specific for each one. All these different things tied in, and they're all like a little wheel. And then there's a big wheel overseeing the whole thing. Every time we take in a breath and let out a breath and have our heartbeat pulsing our blood through, it's also moving this energy around so that it circulates everywhere it needs to go. And sometimes we have things that happen to us that we're processing, and it can end up throwing things off by having a block in this energy or having some negative energy. Maybe we picked it up from somebody else who's suffering and we took that on ourselves to try to help them or, not even realize. So, and I have a feeling that you probably do these things because you are energy sensitive, but we'll see. We'll see how this goes. The way that I do this is it's kind of similar to dowsing or pendulums, things like that are visual tools that help us to interpret what we're feeling. And so I just have this little aventurine on a string with little beads. And when I meet you, I'll show it to you. I found it at I think it was a Renaissance festival. And I use this because if I was to just hold it out at arm's length and there's nothing below it, and I'm not thinking about doing chakras, it's not going to move because it's not connected to anything unless, the wind is picking up. But if I'm focusing on your face and your eyes, and I'm focusing on that certain chakra, then it's going to do one of 3 things. It's going to go in a circle, and how fast it goes and how big of a circle it is shows me how healthy it is, or it's going to go back and forth or side to side. And when that happens, that tells me something's off. It could be, the blocked energy, or it could be that there's some negative energy in there, and then I can work to get that out. You're open to all that?
Yeah.
All right. Let's do this. The first one is the root chakra. That's associated with the color red. And that is what helps ground us. So if you're out barefoot on the ground, you can imagine your feet going into the ground with roots, connecting you with the earth and earthly things. And that can help when you feel like you're taking on other people's energies. And it's our most primal and important energy center. It's the instinct for survival and safety. So let's see where we are with that for you. Okay, it was starting off kind of doing a wobbly circle. And right now it's doing kind of a slow but steady, medium pace. It could use some improvement. I mean, it's not like in terrible condition or anything. So I just ran my fingers along it and kind of swept it downward to get any of the residual energy off of there, and I'm going to try it again. And actually, I'm sorry, Mushu, but I'm going to take you off my shirt because I don't want you to influence this. I don't want to pick up on his energy if he's on me. Okay, here we go. Yep, it's still wobbly and doing kind of a medium circle. So I'm going to see what I find when I get in there. Okay. Are you feeling scared about starting in a new school with new kids?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, that's what I was picking up on. That you're afraid that you're not going to fit in, and you're afraid that you're not going to find friends?
Yeah, I'm really scared about that. So, yeah.
Aww. Well, you know what? The right ones are going to find you.
Okay.
And if they're not the right ones, you don't need them. But what I do know is once people start to get to know you, they're going to really like you. And there's going to be certain kids that you're going to be able to help just by being there.
Oh,
does that make sense?
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
For me.
You're welcome. Yeah, it's going to be, the first day or orientation or whatever they do, you could probably, just being new, have a little bit of anxiety, and that would be normal, Everybody that's new to a place is going to feel that the first time. So I know you've got all these, tremendous gifts that not everyone has, but you will find those true friends. And you won't have to look very hard because they're going to gravitate toward you because they're going to pick up on, hey, you're someone like us.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I mean, it's funny. People like us can sense each other. We know before we walk in a room if there's going to be somebody else in the room that's picking up on us before we get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the more you develop that, the more you're going to be like, hey, I've got a good feeling about this kid, but not so much on that one. And you're going to know which ones are your true friends. And that's a big gift because as you know, and you've probably seen or experienced, there can be a lot of fake people out there.
Yeah.
You know, people that want to be your friends for all the wrong reasons. And you'll be able to see right through those people. And honestly, you're going to have such good friends. And it may not be a huge number of real, true friends, but the ones that you have, you will have each other's backs through everything. And that is going to be an amazing experience that a lot of people don't know, because they might have a big circle, but they can't count on people in it. And you will be able to. And they can count on you. And, you know, a lot of people go through their whole life not having that bonding experience with other people. And, you know, you have a way about you that people who are the right people want to get to know you. And once they've made a friend with you, the kind of people that you are going to be able to, you know, tell are those good, true friends. They will go through thick and thin, and, you know, they will go to the ends of the earth. And I know you would do the same for them.
Yeah.
So don't worry about it. The right ones will come find you.
Okay. Thank you for telling me that.
You are so welcome. And I know what it's like to be new and to wonder if you're going to be liked or if you're going to fit in. And I honestly have been there. And, you know, you'll fit in with the right people that are meant to be with you. And, you know, rely on your intuition to tell you this person's only trying to get close to me because they want this or that. And then this person's a true person, you know, this other person here. Rely on your instincts for that, and it won't let you down.
Okay.
And don't compromise. Don't compromise yourself to have someone. You know, you are worth more than putting up with other people's drama, okay?
Yeah.
You got to know that I have a feeling you're a little bit of a people pleaser. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to protect yourself and not let people suck your energy from you, you know? They see you like a bright light, and you're going to attract some moths along the way. And don't let them do that, because that's not helping them and it's not helping you. Okay?
Okay.
And I know it can help them feel better for a little bit, but it's not right. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta, you know, stay away from those people if you can. And if not, just look at them kind of like you're polite to them while you have to be there. Nobody talks behind each other's back. You just avoid them when you can. All right?
All right.
And if they're mean to everybody. They're not mean to just you. And they're mean. If people are mean, it's because they have their own issues that have nothing to do with you. And sometimes if you're a nice person, they see you as somebody they can be mean to and not have very much consequence, because they know you're not the kind of person that's going to beat them up. But that doesn't make it right for them to do that. So, you know, tell an adult if something starts to happen, but I'm not anticipating too much of that, because you're going to make friends that are going to stand by you and not let that happen.
Oh.
And you know your mom would go, oh, you're welcome. You know your mom's not going to stand for it either if you get bullied in school. And, you know, I don't think, you know, you're not going to be one of those people with a target on your back. You're going to be one of those well-liked people.
Oh, well, that's great to hear.
Yeah. See, you have an opportunity here to make some really good friends. And that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a new adventure. You've been through a lot of adventures. This is just a new one. So, let me see. Let's see how you are on that one now. Okay, good. It's doing what I'm calling helicoptering. It's going like, it looks like a plane propeller, like how it's like actually up and down. And this is the third time I've ever seen that do that, and it's crazy because I can barely see it. It's blurry, and it was hard to hang on to. So that means that you are now super healthy and fortified in all the good ways there. So that's a good thing. Yeah, you just have to know that if you anticipate you're going to be there, it's going to be fun, and you'll make a lot of friends, then you're going to have fun and make a lot of friends. And, try to put your worries aside so that you can focus on that. Because if you focus on, this is scary, I don't know if anybody's going to like me, then you're focusing on something that's counterproductive. You know what I mean? Okay. So just, focus on, hey, this is a new experience. Everybody feels this way, and I'm going to make the most of it.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. All right. The next one is the sacral, and that one is your emotional body and your creativity. And let's see where this one is for you. Okay, well, this one is stronger than the other one starting out. It has room for improvement, kind of wobbly. So let's see what's happening in here. This one's very beautiful because I feel a very, very gifted, creative, energy in there. But I also feel that your emotional body is a little bit thrown off with anxiety, grief, a little sadness, missing people and things that you used to do. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's going to get better, especially the more involved in school that you get. And I know it's like you're in the middle of summer break, and that's the last thing you want to think about is school. But, the more that you are meeting people and getting out of your comfort zone, the more it's going to help you. But always, when you need to have alone time, make sure you do that when you can, because you need to recharge yourself. And sometimes I feel like there are some people that are extroverts, and they recharge by being around a big group of people and all the energy. And there are the introverts who are more like, they like that to a point, but they also like their alone time because that helps them recharge. And they can think about things, they can work on their inner self, like for you, your astrology, things like that. And you're very, very good at learning new things and helping yourself and helping your mom. And so I feel like for you, it's kind of like learning where you are in the world, where, learning where you feel it's safe to be in this new place, and having some time to yourself to just, go within your head and your heart and your soul and explore and develop. And also balancing that with the social life.
Yeah.
And once you have that balance down and you have more friends to hang out with to be able to, you're going to be happy. You're going to be happier than you've been in a long time.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, because, you're really good at your inner work. And the social life is kind of like following around what Mom does right now, because you haven't been able to make your own niche, your group of friends yet. But it's going to happen. Yeah, you're gonna find that balance and that happiness. It's just, I'm thinking it's probably around a couple months out because of the adjustment of going to the new buildings and learning where you need to go and who people are and who the teachers are and what their schedule's like and what the homework is like and what they have to offer after school and all these things that everybody has to go through, And it's always funny to me that they take the pictures right after you get into school, and it's like when you get older, they have yearbooks come out, and it's like you don't know, like, what clubs and groups to join yet in the beginning, and here they're taking yearbook pictures for these things. It's kind of like you don't know where you fit. You're just thrown in, and you have to make these quick decisions. But just go at your pace. Don't feel pressured by what the others are doing. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, good, because you got this. You just don't know you got this. Let's check and see where that is. Oh, okay. Yeah, it is really going around there. It's like doing a lot of like fast stop and start because it's getting kind of like okay, how do I explain? It's kind of like getting caught on itself. So I have a feeling that once you start taking off in this direction, you're going to have a little adjustment period trying to get used to your footing and where you fit. And that's normal. Yeah. So don't worry about it. Okay? Because once you get that, you're going to take off like a rocket, and you're going to find your place and your happiness. And so let's check your solar plexus. That's your personal power, your self-esteem, your warrior energy, and your power of transformation. And let's see. Oh, this is nice. This is nice and strong coming right out. And I'm seeing, it was doing like a gradual shift to going to like that propeller from like the horizontal, which is like a helicopter. So that's showing me that you are transforming right now. You're in the middle of a big one. And it's just going to keep getting better and better. It's just sometimes the growing pains along the way, it kind of brings things up to the surface that we thought we had dealt with for, a while ago. And that's okay. That's okay to feel those things. Now, if let's say you got sad and it lasted longer than a couple weeks, that's when you might want to talk to like a counselor at school or something, because that happens sometimes. We get stuck in those places for a little bit and need a little bit of advice. And there's nothing wrong with it. All right. Let's see. Oh, yeah. You have a beautiful ability for that transformation. I wish more people had that capacity because, you've been through a lot.
Yeah.
And you're not letting it get you down. And I know, like, today is kind of one of those, off days. But, that's okay. It feels off, but you're gaining ground. You're still going up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just sometimes it's harder than other, and usually these harder times come right before something really good.
Yeah.
So let's do the heart chakra. That's the opening of feelings, compassion, and your capacity to love, and it doesn't like conflict. So let's see where we are. Oh, yeah. This went, like, right into that, like, plane propeller mode. This is awesome. Yeah. And I think, let me see. I'm going to go in here and make sure what's going on. Oh, my gosh. That gave me chills. You have such a beautiful heart.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. You have a beautiful heart like your mom. Wow. Wow. Gosh, when I meet you guys in person, I want to stand, like, with one on each side, and I just want to, like, bask in that, beautiful heart glow. Wow. That was amazing. The next one I'm going to do is the throat chakra, and that's the ability to manifest and express your truth in the world. Let's see. Okay, this one is steady, and it's a big sweeping circle. It's not as fast as the other one, but I like the fact that it's steady, because it's kind of like the slow and steady wins the race when it comes to things like that. And it shows me you're not somebody to have, like, an outburst. If you're upset, you're not going to start yelling at somebody. You stop and you think about things before you react. Am I right? Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. So your self-expression comes out in very peaceful ways where, some people, it's like they'll blurt out what, how they think about something, but they're not really thinking. It's just kind of bleh, and then they can't unsay what they just said or undo what they just did. And you don't have to worry about that, which is really good. Mm-hmm. Let me see what I find. Do you sometimes feel hesitant to say something because you're afraid it'll hurt someone's feelings?
Yeah.
Okay, that was what I was finding. I think that is the hesitation. And sometimes our voice gets lost when we're afraid to tell someone something that they might want. But the way that you communicate, you're not going to hurt someone with it. Unless it's a truth that they aren't able to accept, and sometimes that happens, but oftentimes they will appreciate that you can communicate that to them. And if they don't, they're probably not they just don't want to see that part of themselves. It's a them issue and not a you telling them, where you expressing yourself. It's not you, it's them if they react in a negative way. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I don't want you to be afraid you're going to hurt someone's feelings, because, 99% of the time, 0.9999, most people would rather know something than to have you keep that in and not say anything about it.
Yeah.
Okay. And like I said, you know how to say things in a way that is heartfelt and not hurtful. So,
Yeah.
So don't hesitate.
Okay.
Because sometimes those insights can really help people if they know.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see how that's doing now. Oh, yep. Yeah, that's doing the whole plane propeller thing, and I can barely hang on to it now. So, yep, we got to the heart of that one. Yeah, that was good. Now, the third eye is your intuition and your patterns of learning and your memory skills. Let's see how this is. Oh, no surprise here. That one's doing that plane propeller thing. It was like hesitant for like half a second, and then it was like, boom. So I guess what I would get from that is don't second guess yourself. When you feel something about something or someone, trust that gut feeling, okay?
Okay.
If something feels off or something feels wrong, investigate, because there's a reason, okay?
Okay.
And if somebody feels kind of weird, to be around, try not to be around that person by yourself, all right? Okay. If you listen to that well enough, that'll save you.
Okay.
And don't be afraid to tell a grown-up if somebody, gives you a weird feeling, especially if it's another adult.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you are going to pick up on it better than most people if there's something that isn't right with someone, or if their intentions aren't good. You're going to pick up on it really well.
Okay.
And I'm not trying to say danger, danger. It's just, just trust how you feel about it. Let's see. The last one is your crown chakra. That's your access to higher states of consciousness, open to what is beyond understanding. That's also known as your light and how you connect with heaven and God and Jesus and the universe and everyone that has a soul. Yeah. Let's see how that is. Okay, yep. This one, I'm seriously having trouble hanging on to it, doing like that propeller thing. And like I said, you're the third person I've ever had that with. So, that's like, wow. Yeah. So, what I'm going to do now is, actually, I want to kind of go in there and see how that feels, because I bet that just, yeah, you have a definite divine light in you, and it radiates out. And I've had the most amazing things happen on the show with people that I feel this way, when I'm doing their chakras. Because Wendy had it, the Lummis sisters had it, you have it. I'm pretty sure if I did your mom's chakras again, she would have it. Like, you guys are all like, instead of the candle that everybody sees the light, you're bright like the sun, like a lighthouse, saying, I'm here, welcome everybody, I'm here to light the way, that's kind of like, I know you'd never shout it from a mountaintop, that would be kind of silly, but, it's something that you can't change and you can't hide from people, because they can just tell. Everybody, it's not like they can tell what you're thinking, they can just tell that you have this great connection with God and the universe, and you have these special gifts. Like, you're the person that they can tell is going to walk into a room before you do because your light gets there first. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just going to go through the 7 really quick and make sure nothing skipped around. Sometimes, rather than, like, if you'd had negative energy, then sometimes it wants to hang on. So let's say it was in your solar plexus, it might jump down to your root chakra because we already did that one, because it knows that I'm moving my way up and it wants to try to get undetected. So plus the root and all those, you know, towards the tailbone working the way up, all of those are like the foundation, like a ladder. So one affects another. So root. Oh, okay, this went right into propeller mode, so we're good. And sacral. Yeah, sacral's even better. That's your emotional body and your creativity. Solar plexus, yes. Wow. Okay, that one was off the chart too. Heart chakra, that one's doing really well. Throat, that one was a little hesitant at first, and now it's really, going. And again, I think that might be just some, shyness in the beginning when you meet people, and there's nothing wrong with that. Third eye, that one is just, wow, I can barely hang on to it. And crown, and yeah, that one is going around so fast that it's almost going upside down. So yeah, let's see where we are. Oh, well, we got a little bit of time left. Do you have questions for me?
No, I didn't really think that through.
Okay.
Do you feel different,
I have a
Priscilla?
question. Priscilla, how do you feel?
I feel great.
How do you feel? Oh,
I
great.
feel great. I feel like I finally know everything, but I don't know everything, but I know a lot now, and I feel like reassured, and yeah.
Good.
Kelly?
Are you looking forward to school?
Wow.
What?
Are you looking forward to meeting your new friends?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Good. Were you starting to say something, Barbara?
Yes, I wanted to know, what does it mean again when it's going off the charts, like when you said her crown chakra is going off? I forget. What does that mean? Is it a good thing?
Oh, gosh, yes. Yes, she has a very strong energy connecting her with all living things and with the heavens and the earth. I mean, she is dialed right in. And it's, it's going to keep growing, like getting stronger. And I'm really, really looking forward to seeing how this expands, because, I mean, the only other person that was on, like Wendy was just I felt the vibration throughout my entire self when I was doing her.
Wow.
And yeah, and Priscilla's gonna get there. She's on her way. She is definitely on her way.
That is so good. You know what we're going to do is refer back to this and go through it again together so we can really, focus on it and keep the healing going. I was researching chakra healing on children, and they start as early as 2 to develop their chakras. What is the chakra that I read? The one that grounds you, what is that one called?
That's the root.
Yeah, the root. That starts at 2. So a lot of people think, oh, they're kids, but they're people too. Children are people too, and they are just like adults. We need to promote this in children because, I mean, they're the ones probably more out of balance than anybody because they're changing so much every day and they're going through so many different things every day. So it's so important, and I'm going to do some posts about chakra healing on children and how important it is to try to promote that, and hopefully we'll get some more parents that would love to have their children come on, you know, to our show and for you to help heal them. You know, I know we don't get a lot of talking and, you know, back and forth from kids because, you know, they have a shyness or this is also new to them, but it's very, very helpful. So we are so thankful. And Priscilla actually wanted it. So I know that she's going to benefit, and she is so grateful to you.
I have a question, Priscilla. Has your curiosity about the show grown since you've had your chakras, now that you've had your chakras done? I mean, do you, like, want to see more of, like, what the guests are going to be and who we interview?
Yeah.
Oh, good. That's cool. Wow. Yeah. And, you know, I've done a little bit of research on animals, and they have chakras too. And I know I've done a lot of energy work through the years with my animals. I just didn't know exactly where each chakra was located. But, you know, sometimes they have them in their tail because that's part of their vertebrae and, you know, spine, and it goes all the way up. And, you know, I want to research that more and also take I would like to take different Reiki classes because I think that would just open up more things that I'd be able to help people and animals with. But
yeah,
you know,
it's so
Barbara,
interesting. Yeah.
Thank
Barbara,
you.
does Priscilla has a phone? What kind of phone does she have?
iPhone.
I'm 6S Plus.
Number what?
iPhone 6S Plus.
Oh, okay.
You have an iPhone 6?
Yes.
I'm curious, you know, maybe she could, this is just a suggestion, you know, we would only do something if you were okay with it, Barbara, but maybe she could also help out with the blue sheets. You know, she would be, instead of just she could walk around the mall maybe with her phone, because I mean, if it's an iPhone 6, she could probably download it to her phone. And
it works on her. It does.
Oh,
I think I've already downloaded it for her. For some reason, I put it on hers too, so she has it. That would be fun for her. Thank you, Johnny. Getting her involved.
You know, I
so
mean,
nice.
if we have like a psychic on, you know, maybe Vanessa or Karen, you know, Kelly would, you know, Priscilla could walk around the mall and say, "Hi, we're just taking questions and see if anybody's any questions for the psychics," you know.
Okay. Well, she doesn't really go around by herself yet. I mean, you know, she used to in Arizona. She had her group of friends that she would be alone with after school, but we'll have to wait till school starts, and then we'll be able to incorporate that. Remember, we were even talking about having like a kids' day, like a slumber party where they call in and remember, but I'd have to get obviously permission from the parents. But that was so fun because children always want to experiment with psychic and paranormal, but they do it sometimes in a negative way, in a scary way, and kind of like try to get into the evil of it. And I mean, I did when I was in first and second grade. We got the Ouija board out and the levitation lifts, and you know that we don't promote that on Life, Laughter, Happiness. We promote only the positive spiritual. So it actually could be very helpful but the children tend to want to experiment that when we're not looking, and it could be dangerous.
Now, Priscilla, would you be interested in doing, like, say, a slumber party, and then we bring a psychic on to read for you and your friends?
Maybe. like, well, not everybody, like, believes in psychics. They're, like, really skeptic. So I just want to, like, I need to make sure that they're not, or if they are, I need to convince them or something like that, because I don't want a skeptic on the show. Because then,
Oh, that's so true. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, you're ahead of the time. You are so smart, thinking ahead.
thank you.
Yeah.
She's
That's
trying
a
to
good
protect
point.
us. How sweet.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
But, say that we know that your friends are not skeptics when you get a group of friends here. Would you be open to that? Does that sound fun, Priscilla?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Cool.
That's going to be exciting in our future. We're just growing. We have a lot of ideas. It's so exciting what's happening with our show lately. And you know what was so fun yesterday, walking around doing the live Facebook on it and getting followers that way was fun. I'm going to start doing that more often. I liked that with the selfie stick.
That worked well. I liked it. It was like, oh, I get to hang out with you guys. I'm not physically there, but it's like I'm right there. Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. I'm going to do a lot more of those because we're reaching people that in each way we go out about reaching people, it's a different way that maybe we are not reaching in another way. So any way that we can, I'm open to trying.
That's cool. I like that. Yeah. I need to get magnets for my car that has something that has our show and something that's catchy that they're going to want to look up and then find out more about our show. I'm trying to formulate what that would be. And then
Magnets is a great idea. That's a great idea.
Thank you. And I'm going to get business cards too. I'm just playing around with what to put on them, and then, I was thinking of making like a tarot oracle deck of the exotic animals that I have. And because I know, their personalities well enough, I'd be able to say, this is a lucky card because, and to have like original artwork on the front of it. And, people could either buy those, or, like the prints of it if they liked it, or buy the whole deck.
That is a great idea. And I was putting on a T-shirt today, and it was kind of like the off-the-shoulder type of T-shirt that I got from Playboy with their logo on it. And I thought, you know what? Why don't we have different styles of T-shirts? Because then people are more likely to wear them more often if they're like a style that they like. Like, remember we were talking about a tank top or like the off-the-shoulder type T-shirt. Wouldn't you think that's cute, Kelly? I love those kinds of T-shirts.
Oh, I do too. Those are awesome. Yeah, I ordered some online, and those are fun. And
really fun.
Yeah, and I love the idea of exploring the chakras more with kids. I mean, and I love that you did that research, and found out like as early as 2, because I'm formulating a chakra book, with my experiences in helping people with it, so that, people can understand what this is and how it helps, and, decide for themselves if it's something they want to learn more about.
Yeah. You're welcome. Having a kid around our show, Priscilla, it is inspiring. So, yeah, I probably wouldn't have thought of looking it up. But you know what? We need to know, because if other parents say, oh, well, that doesn't seem right, having a child get her chakras cleansed, it is. It's very good. And there's tons of information out there. I Googled it. Tons of information on it. Lots of books. A lot of people are doing it. So I'm proud.
Wow.
I'm proud that we did that today. It's our first day of doing chakra healing for a child, and I think that it's another little milestone for us.
Yeah, that's exciting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, we're
Not
definitely
to change. Oh, go ahead.
We're definitely breaking new ground. It seems like, quicker and quicker with new ideas.
Yes, we are. Because we have a great group of people now, and that can only lead to bouncing more ideas around. And, when everybody's putting so much good effort and energy into the show, it just makes you be, like me in general, feel like working even harder for it. It's called inspiration, I guess. Like today I got a nice comment from a guy that I always am a guest on his radio show, and he's based out of Nashville, Tennessee, where I used to live, and he was complimenting the parade. And so I said, I would love to come on your radio show again soon. And he's like, let's make that happen. Let's schedule it right now. And so I said, I really want to come and talk about Life, Laughter, Happiness, the show I'm doing with Kelly Walters and Jonathan Alexander, and now our 2 regular psychics. So he's like, yes, we would love for you to. So that'll be great. That'll be really great to reach more people.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, when that's happening, let us know, so that we can post on it, because there's going to be a lot of people, including myself, that are going to want to check that out.
Yeah. And you can listen in, and then we'll save it, and then we'll post it. So that was my good news today, for sure.
Yeah, cool. I'm excited. We got a lot of great things happening right now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we're gaining momentum.
We're gaining momentum. And you know what? When I was doing that live broadcast, people were writing. They were saying, commenting live, and they were saying, I listen. So that made me feel good. I'm glad. And they like it. They really like our show.
And Barbara, the other night, I told Kelly this, but I didn't tell you this. I got a text message from a guy saying he likes the community I'm building, or that we're all building.
Oh, that's so nice.
That's so cool. Yeah.
That's our thing.
Wow.
Growing the community.
Yeah. Yep, connecting people. When there's so many things in the world that are dividing people, we can connect people.
Yes. Oh, did I tell you guys this other tidbit of information I found out? You never know when you're going to find something out, like just in conversation. This guy was telling me that people who do podcasts, which is us 3, every day when they do it, it's good for our mind. It's good for we're doing something very healthy for us, because we're constantly thinking. We're constantly trying to work everything out, analyze everything in our life, think about questions about other people's lives, get in deep. Every single day we're doing this, and it's good. It's actually, they have studies about it now, and it's proved to be very good for a human person to do this, to actually be a host of a podcast.
Oh, that's great. That explains something.
Wow. I know. Don't you feel like you healed a lot faster? Whatever you go through, Kelly, didn't you feel like what you were going through, that you healed so much more quickly than you probably normally would have if you weren't a host on a podcast?
Exactly. Yes. And then the fact that we're connected in with those psychics, those wonderful psychics that can help guide us at any time. And we have we're lucky enough to be able to speak with others, that can help us along the way, whether it's psychics or mediums or life coaches and I mean, inspirational stories. It is. It's like, wow, and it keeps us on our toes and thinking, like you said, and
and then one notch above with having the psychic. One notch above that. Like, it's already good for us, and then we get what you just said. It's just, I think about that too. Like, how lucky are we?
Yeah, and we get to help people every day. I mean, there very many things. I mean, and it helps us think outside of ourselves when we're helping people. So sometimes that can help minimize something, that's a challenge that we're going through because we're focusing on this good thing.
Yes, that's so right. I feel like that happens to me all the time. Like I can get through something so much more easily with just having this mindset and all these tools that I've learned by being on the show.
Yeah, and, it's a community. It's a family. We're all here for each other. And, you don't have to be famous. You can be anybody and be in our community.
That's right. Definitely. And I hope that it's helping Johnny, too. How do you feel about that, Johnny, the perks that you get from doing this show?
What I like about it is the universality of it. I mean, the idea that the guests could potentially be anybody, rather than just, it can only be certain kinds of people. Because if you do it that way, it could be anybody, then the growth thing is instant. It could go from, I was just thinking, like, you or Barbara could go into a doctor's office waiting room, and there'll be like 8 people there. You could tell each of them about the show, Now, if it were a sports show, you couldn't do that, right?
Right.
It's
right.
like you can sit down, you can tell 8 people, you can tell all 8 people,
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Like I did in the office today at the apartments I live in. I went there to get some mail, and I was telling them about it because I had to go. I said, well, I've got to go now. I've got to do my podcast. And they're like, oh, what do you do? And then I told them a little bit about it, and then they said 3 other people in this apartment complex do their own podcasts, and he's going to get me their info, and then we like exchange and follow each other. I mean, right there's another handful of people that we're getting linked in with, and you never know. I mean, the guy who told me about like how good actually hosting a podcast is for the human was the mechanic that came to help me with my battery on my car the other day. I mean, who would think? But if I wouldn't have told him, started chatting about what I do, I never would have gotten that information that now I'm going to go and research.
Oh, that is cool. Yeah. Yeah.
I never would have thought that this was like actually a thing, that being a host of a podcast every day was really so good for your mental state.
Wow.
I mean, that it would make you grow and heal. I mean, I know that our subject matter does, but actually running it and doing it, I did not know that. Have you ever heard that, Johnny or Kelly?
No.
No, but it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, it makes sense, though. Yeah.
It does make sense.
And, and I can't help but think back to the beginning of the show where I didn't know Jonathan very well, and this was a few years ago. And he's like, yeah, I have a podcast. And I'm like, oh, what is it about? And then he's like interviewing models, and I thought that's all he did. So I was excited about it, but I was like, well, I don't know these people, and, if they're talking about, this or that, I don't know if I can relate. And then it's, then he wanted to have his chakras done, and then he had the experience of it, and then he wanted to have me on for that, and I was nervous as all get out because I've never done anything like that. And I thought, gosh, what if I mess up? I mean, I've never done that on the radio. So, and it went from there, and it feels right. It feels like everything has happened the way it was supposed to, and that we've been connecting with people that we're supposed to. Like it feels like it led to you coming on, and that was supposed to happen, and it led to all these other people, and then eventually to, the Life After Happiness Psychics. And it's just like this amazing creation that came from Jonathan, once in a while interviewing people, and then, we met on social media, and it was like, oh, okay, cool, you have a podcast. And then, I thought, well, I'd like to have one, but I don't think I have anything to say.
I
I'm too afraid to. Yeah, it's like,
I know. Well,
I
at
don't
first,
have anything to say.
Me too, Kelly, though. At first I was like, oh, gosh, I think I'm probably going to run out of questions for our guests. And you start to think that in the beginning, but then you realize there's no way. After you just get into it, and I know a lot more about our subject matter and stuff, I don't feel like I'm ever going to run out of a question now.
Yeah.
I don't know, 52 or 53 shows later, right? I've done now. I mean, it adds up when you do it every day.
Yeah, and it's like the more we learn, the more we want to know, the more, and that just leads down this path, and the more we grow, the more we know, and we keep growing, as, a collective, but also individually. And then, and I love that we're not pigeonholed to one certain thing. Because I can't even imagine having a show every day if it was one topic. It would seem like
boring.
That's why I don't really. Yeah. That's one of the things when I created it. I thought it doesn't make sense to. I mean, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to just. You are going to run out of steam because it's like if it was baseball, seriously, I mean, I don't know. I can tell you this right now. I mean, if I had approached you and I said, Kelly, do you want to come and do my podcast with me? What's it about? It's about movies. I think you probably would have been like, it wouldn't have been as interesting. But if I said to you, well, Kelly, we have a podcast, and we talked about, I think even if it had been just chakras, I think you probably would have been like, okay, But I think if I said to you, well, it's about anything, and then see what happened was, Barbara, was that she did the chakra days for a few days, and then I told her that we're not going to be having a chakra day, we're going to be having a medium on tomorrow. She lit up like a Christmas tree, and it was...
That's funny.
Crap.
Yeah,
wow.
It was like, wow.
But the funny thing is, Barbara, is you did the same thing. I mean, you did the same thing when I was talking to you about the psychic that was going to come on. It was like you began as the special guest host, and then you said when I told you about the next day, it was like, oh God, I want to call in for this one. I'm like, you want to be the special guest host every night? I mean, it's like.
I know. You do get
excited,
and I noticed that everybody does get excited, but some people get more excited about the chakra healing than the psychic readings. I've noticed now that I've been asking so many people. Really, they are into it, Kelly, and they love it.
Barbara, when did you know you got the bug? When did you know that you had gotten the bug? Because I know when Kelly got it.
I would say the second time I was on, and okay, maybe the third, okay? Then I would talk to the psychic the second time as a guest. First the chakra healing, then the psychic, I was a guest, and then when you called me on the side and said, oh, there's another psychic out there who has this intuition that you were pushed down the staircase, then I'm like, wow. Then in my mind, I couldn't stop having questions and wondering and wanting to talk and coming back on the show and having this to say, or like, oh, this really did happen, or this appeared in the computer after the psychic said this, and you just like get so excited. But I'd say the third day or the third phone call that you made to me, I would say it only took 3 days. Wow.
Wow, that's cool.
Mhm.
Have you felt that excited about something before?
The only other thing is my dance that really got a burning desire inside of me to just do something every single day. Nothing else, though. I mean, do you think I want to go style a photo shoot every day and go out there and model in front of the camera every day? No way. That's like, that would be burnout city. But every single day I wanted to practice my dance. It was a burning desire and reach my goals. every single day, I want to do this show. Oh, that's what the guy said too. He says the host of podcasts, it's like they have to do it every day. They want to do it every day. If they don't do it, like we don't have a show, if they don't do it, they feel like something was missing. That's what he was telling me too. And it's true. It is so true, isn't it, you guys? Because we don't get burned out. We do it every day. And people are like, you do it every day? I'm like, yeah. I mean, but it's like not even hard because we want to.
It's sort of funny because like when Kelly went through her breakup, I was like, there are some people that would have just gotten so depressed that they didn't want to do the podcast anymore. Not her. She actually needed it to get straight.
Yeah. It was very healing. It gave me something that mattered to look forward to. And I mean, it was amazing that way. I thought it would, that breakup would break me, and it was like, but I have this to do, and this is important. And then it was like, wow, we're reaching people, we're helping people. This is helping me in turn, as a byproduct. It's not like my goal wasn't I'm going to be on the show to help myself. It was, or to feel popular, or, feel like I need the show to feel like I mattered. I mean, it wasn't that. It was, this is very healing, very, very much a community that we're building, and it matters. And no matter what, that person has said, like, well, this show isn't going to go anywhere, it doesn't matter, what you do doesn't matter, blah, 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 blah. It's like, well, apparently it does, and I wasn't doing this to try to prove them wrong. It was, I'm doing this because this is my purpose. Like, really, I mean,
well,
animals and helping people.
And by the way, I wanted to kind of give an analogy to this. I talked to you about the surfing movie. You remember that, Barbara?
What movie? What was it?
Okay. There was a surfing movie with Keanu Reeves, okay? And he plays a surfer. And I think that there's this one where this woman shows him how to surf. And like, I think it was late at night. It was like when the sun was going down or whatever it was. And afterwards, he goes, "That was amazing." That was just he talks about it almost like and I think that you would agree that Kelly, that this is where you see the show like a higher level of consciousness.
I don't. It's called Point Break, but I don't think I've seen it. I'll have to see it.
I can't even remember. Can't remember it.
But
I've seen it though. But
and
Patrick
like,
Swayze was in it.
I don't know about Patrick Swayze. I do know know that scene, but it's sort of funny because that scene is kind of how you are with the show, in a sense. It's like, when I had you on to talk to the medium, and then you texted me afterwards, that was amazing! ! And I thought to myself, oh, okay, well, that was amazing. I didn't realize just how amazing to you it really was.
Wow.
You do remember the first time you talked to the medium, right?
Me. Who?
Kelly?
Oh, yeah. Gosh. That was, like, amazing because I was able to connect with my mom and the baby that I lost last year, and it was really, like, I really needed that. I needed the confirmations I'd gotten. And my grandpa came through, and I was born on his birthday, so we were always close. And I missed him.
Oh, gosh,
Did you get
I
emotional
know.
after that show, Kelly?
What?
Did you get emotional after that show?
I did. It was like the things that I had pent up or not grieved, physically, because I kept it inside so deep so that I could function. It was like those things came out, and then it was also this feeling of lightness. Like, you know, I didn't have to worry about, you know, things because they were okay. And
Yeah,
you
that
know,
was when you called, and that was when you called me up and you said, "Can I get back tomorrow?"
yeah, because it was like that was such a huge turning point for me because I'd been carrying around that heaviness for so long, and then you know it felt like when I was going through that with baby loss, that was just another thing that was piled up on this huge thing of grief, because I never really, I mean, that I had been so traumatized in past things that had happened that I couldn't even cry. Like, and then it was like, if I did, I had to be with somebody so I could feel safe enough. And then it was like, I had to give myself permission. And then I was afraid that the floodgates wouldn't stop, you know, that they wouldn't close and I would be crying forever. So I was always afraid to do that. And now, you know, after the breakup and stuff and the show taking off, it's like now I can do that and just let what I need to out a little bit, you know, and go about the rest of my day. And before, you know, I would totally be gutted because I'd passed it up for so long. It was like, instead of a little trickle, it was like, you know, a tidal wave. And you don't know if you're going to come back out of it okay. So, I mean, this has been tremendously healing. And I never expected any of that to happen. But, you know, it's like, wow, that's more confirmation that we're going in the right direction. You know, if you know, that kind of thing's happening.
I mean, I always think back, and I feel really bad because, like, I was reading the message that you sent me. Did you want me to come back tomorrow and co-host? I can just listen in. I don't want to step on your toes. And you see this text message, you don't see the face. And I realized, I mean, we let her come back, you know, but I mean, I thought, oh my God, is she really that gung ho about this or something? Does it really make her feel like good? I mean, and I thought she was probably pacing before she called me, asking me to call if she could come back the next day, right?
Yeah, I was like, oh gosh, should I bug him about this? Because I'd really like to, but you know, I'm just, you know, me, and I don't really have anything special to offer. So yeah, I don't want to be a pain in the ear.
I know. I remember my cousin dated one of the monkey speech. I know. It's okay. It's okay.
Like that was gonna help me get into this show. That wasn't me. That was my cousin.
That's what she did. Well, I know nothing is yes. My cousin dated one of the monkeys. I know. They're like, okay, Kelly, it's okay. I mean, if it makes you feel any better, Kelly, you know, if it makes you feel any better, Kelly, before you came along, it didn't feel like a show at all. It felt like I had some account on a computer somewhere.
Aw, thank you.
I mean,
yeah.
So what else was I going to call you besides co-host? I mean, it's the logical, correct label.
Well, thank you.
And Barbara, I mean, you know, I think Barbara is just sending it like when she came along, it was like, wow, she's going to send this to the moon. I mean, you know, because she knows how to network. So,
well,
you know,
it wasn't just that. She was hungry for more information on this stuff, and it's like, oh my gosh, I think I found a soul sister.
Oh, thank you. And when you told me in the beginning, Kelly, that I was so spiritual and all of that, it made me feel so good that I was acknowledged for being something inside, you know, something inside, and acknowledged for being aware of my, you know, and aware of people and spirituality and in tuned. It just made me want to open up more and therefore grow more.
Oh, I'm so
And,
glad.
I mean, I just feel like we all have been blessed so much by coming together. The universe put us together. Nothing is an accident, and we have been so blessed by that. Sometimes I think about Johnny sitting there for all those years with no co-hosts, and how, like, oh my gosh, that seems so sad to think of him like that, doesn't it, Kelly? It's like, how did he do that?
Yeah, I mean, he is so brave to do that. I wouldn't be able to fill up an hour if I was by myself. Because,
I talk all by myself, but I can tell you there's nothing like having a co-host there, because what it is that, like, for instance, I like this style of interviewing, and I've told you this before. Do you remember, I told you this, and I told Lorenzo this. I was watching the old Tonight Show episode, and it had Fernando Lamas, Lorenzo's dad, Richard Pryor on, and the author of The Exorcist. And it was basically, what had happened was that, as Johnny Carson was interviewing Peter Blatty, Lorenzo and Richard Pryor started asking questions to the roster too, and I liked it because I felt like it was shared. See, if I had a psychic on, and just say that there was a night where I had a psychic on, and I had Kelly on, and I said, now we're gonna have a medium. Oh, by the way, you Kelly, you Kelly, you go sit over there, and I'm gonna go talk to the medium. You're gonna be like, what? But see, the fact that it's shared means that you're both gonna get something out of it. And you're both going to be like, oh, my God, I want to tell people about this show. I want this to get bigger. I mean, I want Priscilla to talk.
Part of it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want Victoria to talk. I want Alexandra to talk, And I think they're going to talk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
they
will.
So that's why I like, and it's actually kind of funny because I feel a lot of times I feel more like Ed McMahon than Johnny Carson, even though I like Johnny Carson, because like when Kelly would first come on, it was just the most fun part of the entire show was the part where I would say, gee, I have a co-host who's going through this. Kelly, would you like to comment on it? And I knew it knew that Kelly was thinking in the back of her mind, all right, yes. And then I would let her talk to the person for about 30 minutes, She loved it.
Yeah, I still do. Yeah, I love that it's spontaneous and not scripted. You don't have to memorize something. We just pop out with what comes to mind from the heart. And I think that really
And also another thing that you did, another indirect thing that you used to do is one time you said to me, you said, okay, all right, I just want to schedule of the upcoming show so that I can participate. Like we're not going to let you participate, Kelly. I mean, you remember when you said that? Why did you say that?
Well, because
why'd
we
you
didn't
say
have it
that?
on every night, so when we didn't have it on every night, I didn't know when to expect it next. So I wanted to be
You
there.
wanted to participate. You wanted to participate.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it is totally transforming my life, and things are happening.
You're blushing, aren't you, Kelly?
A little bit, yeah. Things are happening in a good way. It'll very fast pace, and I have to remind myself to take time to just sit and think and absorb and process and compartmentalize it, because otherwise it would be like this thing's been so fast I wouldn't know where it was landing,
Mm-hmm.
And so
yeah,
it's kind of like packing up my ex's stuff. It's like it's not going to all happen in 5 minutes, and that's okay,
Well,
that's right.
I think that I'm really glad that we did this. I'm gonna probably go get some. I should probably get something to eat, but I don't want them to cut it. The show to cut us off. So, but thank you for bringing Priscilla on, Barbara.
Thank you,
Okay.
Priscilla.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And thank you for
all of
coming
you.
on, Kelly and everybody.
Thank you,
okay?
Kelly.
Oh,
Thank you,
you're
Johnny.
welcome.
Have a
I
good
was
night,
so much
everybody. Okay.
Thank you. You have a good night.
Thank you. You too.